Hello and happy holidays. It's Coach LK, and I'm starting a new series called Daily Delights. How do we delight in the Lord? And today is Testimony Tuesday, and I've been reflecting on a recent situation that had grown uncomfortable, and I was moving on to what God had for me. And oftentimes, when we're in uncomfortable situations, you can feel unappreciated, you can feel tolerated versus celebrated, and we could be hurt due to jealousy, resentment, all these things that come up, right? And so, as I was being asked why I was leaving the situation, I was asked on three different occasions. And on the third time, it really brought me back to Eli and Samuel when Eli told Samuel on the third time, "Tell the Lord, your servant is listening." And so, God really wanted me to get clear about why I was leaving, but it wasn't because of what was happening or the discomfort. God really positioned me in a space to be able to focus on His goodness, His grace, and His love that was waiting for me on the other side. So, oftentimes, when we are going through the purging, we forget about the promise that God has for us. Or when He's pruning, He's really making room for the provision for us. And then the pressing is when we get our purpose. And so, I'm just here to encourage someone today that if you're in a situation that is uncomfortable, where you feel unappreciated, unheard, or unseen, really think about and dig deep into the work that God could be doing in you. And what is it that He's asking you to release and give to Him so that He can give you something greater on the other side. So, in this new season, really focus on where you're going, which is the abundance and the grace and the love that God has for you, and not really giving energy to what it is that you're leaving behind. Because oftentimes when people ask us, why are you leaving or why are you doing that? We start to point fingers and really give too much energy to what it is that the discomfort. But if we focus on, like, when you're giving birth to something, parents don't go around talking about their labor pains all the time. They then focus on the beautiful joy that God has given to them through their child. So I'm just really encouraging someone to focus on what God is birthing in you in this new season. So as you go into 2025, really embrace the what's good that's happening in the world versus what's wrong. Because we often say, what's wrong? What's wrong? We don't really ask each other what's right. So in 2025, let's focus on what's right and the abundance that God has on the other side waiting for us. So focus on your purpose that is happening in the pressing. Focus on the provision that is happening in the pruning and the promise that God has in the purging. So see you in 2025.